Hi, it's Ra, Rishi Kavi Raghudas from Star Presence Astrology, here to give the astrological forecast for Monday, March 9th, 2026. Well, we're just in the wake of that rather solemn Venus conjunction to Saturn at 2 degrees of Aries as of yesterday, but the energy is considerably lighter today because we have a big shift of energy and it's moving toward the Jupiter station. Jupiter, the planet of good fortune and expansion, turns direct tomorrow, so a Jupiter station turning direct is much lighter in energy. So hopefully this is a day where we can begin to breathe a little bit. The sun today is at 18, moving to 19 degrees, at mystical, magical, often escapist, but highly creative and intuitive water sign Pisces. And the moon shifts signs early in the day, moving from the late degrees of deep dark water sign Scorpio into the early degrees of adventurous and truth-seeking and fun-loving fire sign Sagittarius, whose ruling planet is Jupiter, turning direct tomorrow. So you can see that we're moving toward at least a little bit lighter energy. Now, when the moon is still in the late degrees of Scorpio, early in the day, very early, the moon at 27 degrees of Scorpio makes a direct opposition to Uranus, the planet of sudden change and often chaos, sitting at 27 degrees of Taurus. So you want to be a little careful first thing in the morning. 4:28 a.m. Pacific Standard Time is when that's exact. 7:28 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time now, and 12:28 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. The moon does move into fire sign Sagittarius at 8:37 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, 11:37 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and 4:37 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. That does lighten up the energy considerably, but because Jupiter tends to expand whatever it touches, that could mean anything good or ill. The moon, however, being in early degrees of a fire sign, makes harmonious flowing trines to Neptune and Saturn and Venus, all of which are in early degrees of fire sign Aries. This is a good thing and smooths out the energy for today. The moon trines Neptune at 1 degree of Aries at 11:21 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, 2:21 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and 7:21 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. That's nice, dreamy and contemplative, good time for meditation, a midday meditation. The moon at 2 degrees of Sag makes a harmonious flowing trine to Saturn. This is good for getting things done and being practical. 2 degrees of Aries at 2:15 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, 5:15 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and 10:15 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. And then the moon at 3 degrees of Sagittarius makes another lovely trine, this time to Venus at 3 degrees of Aries. This is nice and loving and good for your money and personal life as well. 5:34 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, 8:34 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and 1:34 a.m. Greenwich Mean Time. And finally, the moon makes a harmonious flowing sextile at 4 degrees of Sag to Pluto, the lord of concentrated power, at 4 degrees of Aquarius. 6:13 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, 9:13 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and 2:13 a.m. Greenwich Mean Time. One last fly in the ointment. The moon at 5 degrees of Sag makes a hard square, 90-degree angle to Mars, a planet of energy, but often conflict, and this is a conflictual energy, at 5 degrees of Pisces. 8:37 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, 11:37 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and 4:37 a.m. Greenwich Mean Time. Overnight tonight, Venus makes a harmonious 60-degree sextile to Pluto, which is passionate but mostly harmonious. So the day gets better as it moves on. There's a couple of cautionary things late in the evening, and so watch your energy today. It's a reality check kind of a day, but generally the energy is a little lighter than yesterday. I'm Ra, Rishi Kavi Raghudas from Star Presence Astrology. Now, if you'd like to have a personal reading with me and see what 2026 has in store for you, please book it on my website, starpresence.net. Remember, from the very moment that you're born, you've got star presence. Enjoy today, no matter what.